Chapter 39. The Generation of Appreciation. With the whole world overcome by a grim darkness, a wicked poison seemed to spread through the land and find its way into the hearts of so many of us. This poison was that self-interested filth which seems to accumulate into a great pile of wickedness. Now, I don't think this darkness was naturally evil, but that deceiver seemed to be profiting from it. And so, he convinced a great number of people to chain themselves into bondage. And so with these glasses of emptiness, one question became clear: how would we escape it? There in the distance, among the darkest night, I looked to the mystical cornfield where I saw a luminous light. With Nandi by my side, we trekked to that mystical cornfield to get as close as we could to that which glowed bright. On the way, we passed the cities and the people who were trapped in the poison of darkness. Oh, there was arrogance within this stagnant wickedness, while our gaze carried us through the emptiness as the distant light seemed to illuminate something fresh within our focus. Among the dark night, as we got closer to the cornfield, we saw various lampstands that were lit of a distant fire. And these lampstands were holders of the light in spite of the heaviness. And if not for such dark conditions, we'd never become aware of the lampstands around us. These lampstands were our fellow brothers and sisters, and the light was that of angelic beings. They had found the way to outshine all the filth and wickedness, to illuminate the goodness within our shared reality. In this sacred community were the bodies of many people I had met. There was Sir Beast, the wild women from the cavern, along with the entire boat of the Pegasus. Oh, with these glasses of emptiness, our gaze pierces the veil of ignorance to see beyond the darkness. And so it became clear that there was something even more powerful than the imagination. There is such a thing as divine illumination. It seemed each magi had a choice to enter upon the path to become a great being, or one could decline. But compared to the light's illumination, the magi were just simple lampstands as they held up the light of divinity for all our fellow humans. Then, on the other hand, there were those magi who strayed from the spiritual path, where their lives were filled with deception, lies, and never-ending greed for more control, power, and profit. Yes, there was a great commitment that each of us must make. We could either selfishly consume as much as we could, or we could offer up our bodies as vehicles, and through such a sacrifice, we become like lampstands to hold the light so that others could awake and illuminate. It seemed the darkness had a heavy quality to it, while the light was here to uplift all. The darkness would consume and conquer space, while gravity pulled everything into the desolate abyss. But it was the light which had a commitment to reveal the truth for which the wise among us were called. Gaze upon that light, and soon you yourself will be like it. These lampstands were rare among the darkness of the world, but still, these brave few surrendered their individual bodies and offered up their life as a conduit for God's Spirit. These meditative beings in the mystical cornfield were the channels of deeper consciousness, and as we perceive the light of illumination, we are opened to the auspicious synchronicities that arise spontaneously. Why, upon the first meeting with the great fire, that eternal flame led us without words to understand key spiritual concepts. This was the source of our immortality, which some may know as Christ consciousness, or the silent flame of Sanatana Dharma. To those who become aware of this spiritual light, it leads us upon a partnership which helps us understand the key divine principles as well as initial insights of our duties to God. Over the next few nights, after each encounter with the light, we feel a luminous invite to journey deeper and deeper into the infinite ocean of profound truth. Depending upon which layer of the fire you are connected into, you will then be led through awareness, beyond the mind, into the deeper levels of consciousness. This is precisely where we notice an increase in auspiciousness. We lampstands who hold the light know who it is that assumes the role of the spiritual leader and teacher. This light of our community goes beyond time and space, and it is not restricted, since it has taken the path, there and back, where it arises to illuminate various maps to help others navigate the many layers of the spiritual passage. The eternal flame provides the only true guidance in dark days, and through spiritual practices, you will be led to the treasures, such as the discovery of clarity and peace. Though these practices may be challenging as they point out the sources of dis-ease. Yes, the closer you get to the light, the more you want to carry it. For the darkness fears such brightness, though it cannot consume it. There is a saying that goes, "What you are seeking is also seeking you." So to whatever future day comes, still we may not understand how we were led to it, but what we find is an open doorway into the truth. Now, as the light shone out upon the many lampstands in our community, we sat together just as brilliant as one another, not because we were perfect, but rather through our trials and failures, we cultivated our forms into a state that was similar to a spiritual battery. No need to believe me, but this is just a record of what the glasses of emptiness see. Each body in the mystical cornfield was like a battery or a lampstand, but this is not all that we are. Even the darkness became a container for a certain awareness, which seems to point to our ability to illuminate the radiant divine light out from within. Our light was so bright as we were surrounded by darkness, and each battery was a human body which operated on different levels of higher consciousness. With the glasses of emptiness, I saw how each body was roughly 80% water with electrolytes within us. This is a mixture of salt, potassium, and other minerals, and so in fact, we are a type of salt battery. Our bodies were then a portal or a gateway to open, hold, or transfer a divine electricity, which to our luck becomes the great calling for humanity to foster spiritual energy. What we can become is like a spiritual circuit, and when we bring our hands together in what is called prayer, we find that our circuit is closed. Another circuit is a seated meditation. Another are the sacred physical postures or yoga asanas, and so even a dance, a song, or a performance could generate spiritual energy. This all appeared like an invisible layer to reality, but with the glasses of emptiness, we find that the spiritual electricity can be felt so clearly. I never knew what I was missing out on until I found you. I never knew that there was more to do, but now I do. I never got it, if I'm being honest. This is all brand new, but everything feels easier when I'm around you. Oh, you make it so easy. Why, there you are, the luminous, spiritual light within every human. And so I gazed into your eyes when the light of God spoke freely.
Together, we are one being. And although there are many paths to this united state, we all meet through our own skillful action. many paths of religion unite us in one common operation to generate spiritual energy, which some know as alchemy. Such a transformation could be viewed through a story, an allegory, a symbol, a sign, and yet we find how our luminous light underlies all of reality. Translucent and invisible, it matters not what the human eye can see, but rather this light is a felt presence, even beyond the imagination, and so our light emits the truth throughout infinity. Each of you are light living within a body, as that body is a vehicle to cultivate spiritual energy. Each of you are like a lampstand, crafted to hold this light. O Surya, each of you hold the rays to conjure the nectar of immortal life. This Amrita is the light of immortality, the timeless essence of eternity. O my sons and daughters, with your very hands, you hold the light of spirituality, and this eternal fire is the gift I share with all of humanity. We foster this light with kindness and humility, because even though the darkness will also last forever, it is the light that illuminates the truth of immortality, which is the fire of divinity. To become a vessel for our spirit is the highest calling. Some call it a choice, a commitment, duty, or dharma, while others say it is something they are following. Yet within every person's heart exists the hidden potential to illuminate our world's darkness. Know that our goal is not to achieve some perfect state, nor will any life be lived flawless, but rather we make a commitment to the highest path, and we will be challenged against near impossible odds, because everything we cling to will one day depart from us. Each living body will dissolve, and all of the material world will crumble. Only the spiritual light can live on forever, and that is why we must make our commitment to that light of God, which is eternal. It is within you, but in order to find this light, it takes skillful action. We must devote our lives to this path of devotion, because we will never find God's light unless we have the proper intention. This calling is not about doing something perfectly, but rather do it badly if you must. We've been conditioned to think that you must be ready, that you must be flawless, that you must arrive fully formed. But oh, how the years disappear, and every master was once a disaster at first. What you call a terrible failure, or a plan that didn't work out, or an unfilled attempt to get healthy, is 10,000 times more powerful than one perfect attempt you never had. So do it badly, and you will discover your own skillful action. Try something, even if you do it wrong. Do it with shaking hands and a racing heart, because doing it badly means you're doing something to illuminate the light that lives within everyone's heart. Start and do it badly, because action leads to excellence. Ignite the light of our souls, because within the heart lives an eternal flame, and humanity was born to illuminate our highest light of consciousness. Listen, Surya, for I speak of the hidden levels which appear beyond the sight of human eyes. I gave you a body to perform this sacred ritual, to uphold the truth and bring light of immortality to life,
said the great light of the sun. But the path
is uncovered through intention, action, and devotion. If you cannot find the way, then observe the intuition until we reach fruition. Our light emerges up the base of the spine, through the heart and the body, and this process generates spiritual energy that emerges out through the crown of the head and stretches into infinity. Rare are the people who take up this path, for this spiritual light is rarely what we can see. but still the awareness is conscious of it, which allows this path to be understood by humanity. Oh, so many think that the purpose of life is to generate great wealth and profit, but that too will fade and dissolve. Oh, Surya, look to the light and become it. That is why you were born. This is the commitment and the path to which you are called. Just as the darkness is nothing more than ignorance, it knows so little and creates a reaction that may be seen as wickedness. But in truth, this darkness is needed for the divine light's emergence, as ignorance is humanity's lowest and most basic instinct. We all come from this. And just like how a baby knows nothing other than to consume to stay alive, so often the human beings do not grow beyond this state of mind because all they can focus on is how to survive. This state of consumption is the most fundamental level of human consciousness, and so it is a valuable instinct. But the real question becomes, then why are we living? And what are we called to do upon this planet? Are human beings only here for one individual life to make, achieve, and gain as much as they can? Or is there a great purpose? What if human beings were called to participate in the divine plan? On the lower levels of human consciousness, we find that people are reactionary, where every action is about the acquisition of more resources. This endless state of consumption may go on for ages, but all it takes is a spark of our united awareness to awaken us. Sometimes all we need to see is the light within our fellow women and man, and that spark is enough to change us. Let me share a story about two birds on the same tree. One bird is busy tasting the sweet and bitter cherry fruits. So when it sees a sweet fruit, it says, "Yummy, my story just got good." But occasionally, the bird tastes a bitter fruit when it makes a face and thinks, "Yuck, I don't like that." Then it gets busy again looking for the sweet fruit. There is another bird on the same tree, sitting on a higher branch, who is simply gazing with love and peace at the other bird's antics. Now this first bird, who is our busy bird, is off tasting, swallowing, trying, looking for more, and is pretty active, so it is not aware of the other bird, who is sitting serenely. But after a particular round of bitter fruit, the busy bird looks up and sees the higher bird peacefully gazing down. After one look at that peaceful gaze, there is relief from the bitterness. And once the busy bird feels better, the busy bird thinks, "Let me look for more sweet fruit." Then the bird gets busy again, in a state of endless consumption, as this happens a couple more times, until the busy bird realizes that this process isn't working, when it thinks, "I keep looking for sweet fruit, but bitter fruit keeps coming up too. This is exhausting. I'm aging, and the cycle is never ending." And so the busy bird thinks, "Let me check out this higher bird, as it looks so radiant up there." So the busy bird hops higher to the other bird, and sees a golden light radiating out from it. It's mesmerized, as it's forgotten the busyness of looking for sweet fruit, and it is no longer traumatized from the bitter fruit. It just wants to get closer to the luminous golden bird. Then something happens. The bird realizes that there is no other bird, and it says, "I am that peaceful bird. I am the golden one. I didn't need to be looking, grasping, controlling, lamenting, criticizing, planning, manipulating, but all along, I am complete to myself." This is our story. There is a part of us that always feels incomplete and lost in this world, looking for that sweetness that will fill us up. but the sweetness is always followed by a bitterness, and this is the world of duality. But there is also a radiant part calling us upon a deeper journey, and that is why we are here,"
said the golden sun. Can you tell us more about this transformational process?
When there is a sense of awareness that arises out of the darkness, we notice something is stirred within us. As a symbol, the ancients have referred to this energy as Kundalini, which is a serpent sort of energy at our base. This serpent survival instinct can awaken and climb to various levels of consciousness within us. As one awakens from the instinctual levels, so too our consciousness rises to the individualistic. This next level of consciousness centers around defense and the advancement of ego as the apex of physical consciousness. Those who function at this level are focused on the avoidance or elimination of threats to their ego, property, or persona. This surfaces as a need to control one's environment, and failure to control it is seen as a detriment to a person's identity, ego, and security. From this level of consciousness, we find the birth of our expansion, where we can begin awakening into higher consciousness. Yet at this point, a person's ego and security are still tightly connected to a sense of personal well-being. O Surya, this is not a negative aspect of humanity, but rather we should rejoice, for the darkness is at the beginning of our evolution, and all beings are on the same journey to the heights of divine consciousness. Now, just because it is a higher consciousness does not mean that some are better than others, but rather, the height of this journey is actually symbolic of a journey deeper inward. Next on the journey, we find the aspect of a conformist, and at this level of consciousness, we are centered around a need for acceptance, which often manifests as a herd or tribal mentality. This is what we find in most religious teachings. Our root is still anchored in security, safety, a calling, and a longing which may lead us to join a tribe where others are valued. And here we find a support system. The whole process is a sort of ladder, a climb, an ascent. At this part in our journey, we are tied into a community beyond one's own individual identity. And so we must tread with caution, because although this is an important stage of our process, it's also a point where people are easily swayed due to the herd-like mentality. From there can emerge an opening of the soul, where we reach for the light of truth, and this creates a sense of innate vulnerability. We should be aware of how the lower instinct of human beings seeks to dominate the large portion of the population that reaches into this level of the journey. O Surya, we must be in service to support all others. This path is not a reflection of one's own will alone. We must be open to the grace of God, and so the lampstands offer up what others won't. We can relieve the suffering of all beings. There is a way for all of us to be free. To relieve such suffering of others, we must come together, and this level of vulnerability in our consciousness often carries a strong emphasis on compliance with tribal rules, laws, and customs. Here we find it important to remain aligned with a code of conduct or commandments where people can be evaluated on a level of acceptance. Same as within any tribe, governed by law rather than merit. But still, if we are courageous, we continue to expand our awareness, and so it becomes important to shift the intuition into the center of our focus. The intuition then behaves as a sort of vortex which it leads us. Everything around us is a reflection of the journey. As we rise to rational, we find a sense of balance. And at this level of consciousness, we undergo an expansion. This spiritual energy opens doors or gateways into the heart, and so it expands our awareness into the sphere of moral standards of relationships. We become aware of all the living life that surrounds us. We notice how in each life form there is a heartbeat that enlivens us, rising and falling, cycles of each breath. Moon and sun, there is a web of experiences that unites all of us. Oh, there is even a cosmic heartbeat that enlivens existence. This heartbeat stretches within all awareness that manifests. From this heart space, there is a call to fairness, justice, and effectiveness. The scope of our beliefs reach for the truth beyond any social, tribal, or political boundaries. A spark out of darkness starts, and it begins the ascent out from ignorance. No longer in a state of consumption, no longer a conformist, the utmost consideration is the awareness of a common thread that unites all of us. And even if we forget this, we have felt an experience of the heart of it, like a flash of lightning, which is something illuminating or an auspicious signal. We notice it. But what is this? This it, one may say, is an invisible presence or a hidden intelligence, and in a way, we are open to something greater and beyond us. Now such an ascent out of darkness becomes a necessity. If we have felt it, we can make a choice to answer the calling. When you answer the calling, it is called rare, and now it becomes a divine operation,
said the light of the sun. Are you talking about an auspicious battery in which we can generate spiritual light that flows from the source of creation?
With any vehicle of cosmic creation, we cultivate awareness where the mind can guide the body and lead us to a divine presence. Such awareness expands and connects us into a spiritual experience. There is a unitive involvement, a merging of opposites, a great harmony where everything is balanced. Oh, what is it called? That feeling upon the discovery of unitive consciousness. In this view, there is no separateness, no us and them, no longer plural. The ocean of suffering expands into an ocean of conscious bliss. Love becomes a moral standard, so does truthfulness, which reveals a hidden sharpness, and so we balance the direction of our awareness through a spiritual focus. Have you ever been given a pair of magic sunglasses? Have you ever gazed to find emptiness? Have you ever discovered what it is that lives within it? One sees how without empathy, one becomes a global harm to humanity. Rather, empathy is a connection that extends into the heartbeat of creation, which manifests life through all living beings. In maintaining a sharpness of awareness, we hold a certain focus, and in alchemy, they speak of an integral consciousness. If this approach awakens the clarity, where we have clear visibility, we can see the value of all life, its needed support and future growth. Why, without this light of awareness, darkness will consume the life of the material world. But if you awaken even a spark, it could illuminate the whole world,
said the sun. Just then, a sharp flash erupted from the spiritual rock there in the center of us, when a ring of light reached for the sky. This was a beacon of truth, which sent a message with radiant light.
The darkness is not so much bad or wicked, but rather the light is spectacular. From its warmth, this is a source for life everywhere. We all have a choice. Such a commitment can lead our mind through our inner awareness. This can generate a process which leads the conscious aspect of us out of the instinctual into the individualistic. Then beyond the tendencies of a conformist, you can reach a flash of spiritual insight which guides us through the alchemical process. Like flint clashing together, there is an emergence of spiritual light and fire. All that can be said is that under great pressure, there arises the opening to a spiritual fire,
said the sun. Light united us together, and our bodies created a meditative posture around the spirit rock. There was light within all these bodies, and someday our flesh would leave all of us. But underneath it, we illuminated the light within us.
O brothers and sisters, carry the light and ignite the worlds. Come forth, hold the lamp high, and allow the spiritual power to rule with an iron scepter. Come forth and take it, Surya. Take hold of it now. The cosmic egg is ready to hatch upon the earth ground, said the great sun. Oh, that spirit rock was an egg, and there the highest peak of potential was ready to hatch. O Surya, go to the sacred stone, and you will be led,
said the great sun. If this body was like a battery, then I felt a surge emerge from our core. Many levels of seeing were all together, while we were self-dwelling, ever existing, and this light could not even be seen through the regular old eye. But I suppose you might need magic sunglasses. But then again, who the hell am I to know something about a path to fruition? I don't know what I was or who I was, but rather, it was all love. There was a choice, and through this commitment and discipline, there is a way we take hold of it. From here it leads us beyond the ways that the world wants to control us. Inside the cosmic egg, there was an iron scepter, and so this hand reached inside to take hold of it. Touching it brought awareness to the source of life which fuels creation, and this source even gave birth to the depths of the imagination. All those who carry the light go beyond time, and so each lampstand belongs to the generation of appreciation. Yes, a great generation of light keepers was seated in a ring around the cosmic egg when the great source of the sun's light spoke.
Have you noticed how all beings have love for something? Where does this love come from? Where does this yearning stem? If it is love, then it is in the heart within all of us. This is what fuels us. It is called our loving awareness. If you can remain right here, the heart may catch on fire from so much loving awareness. And once the heart catches fire, it won't have to try to do anything, but rather, by simply existing, it will illuminate and expose the darkness. The essence of this great teaching is to act purposefully without striving,
said the great sun. The cosmic egg opened and hatched the moment we touched the scepter, and there was a new vision when we found the miracle within our natural world. The divine spirit was everywhere, and it would sprout up through luminous forms here and there. Distant stars and lampstands hung light across the galaxies. Oh, how lucky are we to be guided by our elders. There within each of us was a long link of light bearers from our fathers, through our mothers, and all of our ancestors. There is a light within us, unbound by restrictions of time, where this fire is a connection through our spirit that unites all of mankind. Some say that the deceiver is out to divide us, and yet I've come to appreciate the grace that holds us together. Our differences no longer matter, because here we are, fellow souls, appreciating one another. And what should I do with this light?
Take it back to the world. Get yourself firmly established in daily activities within society. Only then can you cultivate reality and understand the essence that stems from the light of immortality. And on your way there, bring forth the intercourse of fire and water. Bring the scepter to the shoreline and offer it to Shruti, for that iron scepter you hold is the light of the golden flower,
said the sun.